colorful, in a bitter sort of way. And here is my final poem. In this poem, the speaker goes to a theater. There used to be neighborhood theaters, and when he goes to the theater, he decides not to go home. So, Elegy for a neighborhood theater. I cannot sometimes find a pen when I want one, and this pain in my heart is a movable feast. Daddy says what I want on my tombstone, and try as she might, she could not make it out. What do you mean? Is all of this a denial of me? And he began where he left off, because this is the way of women and men, how first she gives life to everything, and then he gives life to the possibility of her. Oh no, never you, my companion of the hours. When I was a boy, in the years before malls, where I spent my first 18 years arriving at the year of the Tet Offensive and the assassinations of King and Bobby Kennedy, before America killed itself, it was a land of neighborhoods and towns and cities. The Seneca Theater was packed Saturday afternoons. Mothers got a huge break from even huger families. And boys sometimes learned how to kiss. I was nearly always the last to leave. A double feature and previews and cartoons, and still I would sit there. And when the movie house closed, although I was a little boy, I was as sad as the Indians I had seen shooting flaming arrows from southwestern caves. Lonely beyond anything imaginable. So the flaming arrows seemed like prayers, messages sent out to the sun-drenched sky. For a while then, the businessmen brought the show back. They ran films for a quarter, second runs, although sometimes great films, like The Beatles' Help, which we saw 21 times until we could sound in our heads like we were George Harrison. When the theater closed, I just refused to leave. I sat and they tore out the seats around my seat. Then they knocked the roof in so rubble strewed around my feet and dust got in my hair. But I could see the sun. Often the workmen would wink as if they knew what I was doing, although I didn't know what I was doing myself, only sensed. If I had a pen, what poems I could have written. As they cleared away the memory of love and hope, soldiers arrived again on their first date back from the war in Europe or the Pacific. Ragged kids with borrowed quarters forgot everything and learned to dream of dancing women, dressed as dollar bills the dancers so undressed in the movies that on their honeymoons later in life, these grown-up boys would wonder where they had seen all that soft skin before. Even the memories of Elvis, singing while teenagers stopped their incessant necking to do badly choreographed fake jitterbugs, improvised a dance to accompany Elvis and his call to them. Down the aisle till the manager stopped the film and said he'd send everybody home and call the police if everyone didn't return to his seat. All those memories and more oozed into me until the last Saturday when the wrecking ball came. The swing and the crash knocked down the front wall and left me visible from the street, where I sat alone until I was ashamed. I couldn't stand being seen and I went home. My mother asked me what I had proved, and I didn't have to answer. She saw my face and changed her tune, as we used to say. Well, you can't say you didn't try. As I nodded, she gave me that day's dinner she had kept on a plate in the oven for me. Well, what have you learned, she asked me. I don't know, I answered. I guess I learned that you should go home when the movie ends. No, I knew that. I don't know. Maybe I didn't learn anything. Maybe someday I'll know what I learned. She said, when I was a little girl, movies were a nickel, the same as the streetcar. We sat in silence and she watched me eat. Someday I will be a memory, she said. I heard, and when I looked at her face, I saw that her lips had not moved. And today, which is always the first warm day of spring, where all the trees are suddenly startlingly green, I remembered that my mom has been dead for many years. And though she is dead, I am a memory of hers. Thank you.
Yeah.